Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LEGO Shipbuilders podcast. I am your host, Brickships1912, and today we will be discussing LEGO shipbuilding with our second guest, 1912Bricks.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
Very welcome. I love to talk to other LEGO shipbuilders. It makes me feel like it's not as much of a niche building topic.
Yeah?
But yeah,
Well,
give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself.
sure. I kind of jumped on the bandwagon, if you will, not too long ago, probably about a year ago now. I was a big fan of Lego when I was little, big fan of Lego ships, but I never really went big with it. Until recently, I started off designing a Lego kit, not a Lego kit, a Lego model of the USS Cobia, which is in a museum not far away from me. And I donated to them, and I realized that it was really fun to do from the standpoint of like just making models online and then doing kits or donations and just like stuff like that. And it really got me passionate into doing more professional style Lego models. And I picked on 1/200 scale because of that. Is the museum had a Lego Titanic set, and I wanted to make the submarine that they had into the same scale. So when you were looking at the real submarine, you could see the scale of the Titanic in comparison to it. So I thought that was really fun, and 1/200 really stuck, I guess, and I've been having fun with it ever since. It's a nice scale, and it's big enough where you can have a lot of detail, but not so big that it breaks your bank. And I thought it was really nice. Yeah.
Yes, I do know that LEGO will bust the bank.
Yes.
But
So,
yeah.
So,
you go.
sorry, I'll let you go. Oh, no, I'll let you go.
I was just going to say, on our discussion topics, do you have a specific type of ship that you like to build, or do you just build whatever you're interested in?
I started off with submarines, and that was kind of my thing for a while. I really got the hull design down. I got very passionate in it, and now I'm starting to branch out into more civilian type ships. I did the SS Badger recently. That was in 1/500th, but and also a couple of other civilian vessels. I like the civilian vessels honestly a little bit more. The colors are just more vibrant. It's a lot more bolder.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe a U-boat where it's kind of just dark gray and light gray on top. It doesn't stand out as much, and I think I want to move towards more civilian ships. Currently, and I guess unfortunately, most are submarines. But recently, I've done the Britannia, the Britannia, however you want to pronounce it. It is a paddle steamer from Britannia. I'll get it one of these days. And it was a steamship back in the 1840s, I believe. And I kind of almost found a niche in the steamships. Sorry, not steamships, paddle steamers. The paddle steamer wheel design is very fun to build, and they're very curvy. I guess they're very fun looking designs, and I want to do more of those.
I have been meaning to make more paddle steamers. I've kind of only got 2 at the moment.
That's same here. I kind of get my inspiration at the museum near where I live. They have a lot of model ships, and I kind of take inspiration from those. They have a lot of model ships ranging from paddle steamers to car ferries, train ferries, and these large Great Lakes freighters. I don't know if you've ever seen them. Edmund Fitzgerald style freighters, super long.
I used to be in the Edmund Fitzgerald and all that, but
yeah, me
I
too.
fell away from that after 2019. But I'm gonna skip the scale question because you said you build in 200 scale.
Yep. Sorry, I kind of jumped ahead there.
Yeah, that's all good. But How do you go around designing your models? Do you use like plans or
Yes.
images?
So if there's a blueprint reference, I will add the reference photo into Bricklink. How I used to do it was actually just putting up a picture on my computer and then sizing it to my ruler, and then making the models that way. It was quite a terrible.
Yeah,
Yes.
the perspective of a photo will play with you a little bit.
Yes.
I used to do that a little bit too.
This was before the era of reference images being added to Bricklink, so I was very
Oh,
happy for that one.
that feature is so incredible. I
It's
love that
amazing.
feature.
Even for builds that don't necessarily need the scaling, it's just so good for proportions. I love
Yeah,
it.
like you'll get all your proportions in and everything like that.
Exactly. For a couple of my upcoming builds, there's actually not any reference photos to it. Not reference photos, but blueprints for me to reference off of. So what I would actually do is I would go to the museum, um, or any sort of other thing, and or even just regular pictures, and take a picture of it and artificially try and make it look more 2D so I can line it up. It's kind of fun to do.
Oh yeah,
So kind of like resize it. It um, it's kind of awkward doing it at the museum where I'm kind of like trying to get that perfect 2D shot where everybody's staring at me. Um,
yeah,
but it's fun, and it usually turns out pretty well. And it's nice because I feel like with blueprints, you kind of lose a sense of um, the finer details, if you will. Um,
yeah.
you get the basic structure correctly, but sometimes you miss on. I found myself in this a lot where I've missed a lot of just like structural things because the blueprints don't really show you the.
Any like upgrades and stuff that they
Yeah,
bring to the
exactly.
team.
You know, the air vents, or the lifeboat davits. It just doesn't show that detail sometimes, and some of them are waterline ones, so it's even harder because I don't exactly do waterline models. I'm more strictly a full ship model person, so
I
it's tough. It's tough
I
sometimes.
would delve into doing full hulls, but
It's expensive though. It
my
definitely is.
scale is just it's a
It's
percentage bigger than yours because I'm doing it in
yeah,
120th 220th scale.
yeah,
So it's just
but
a little bit bigger.
yeah, your bills are bigger though. I stick to little naval trawlers and little submarines. You're going
Yeah,
for the
the
big.
Oceanic 3 is quite a behemoth.
I've almost wanted to dive into that, and then I realized I never would ever get the time commitment to make a big model, nor the money. Um,
Yes.
I've wanted to make a couple of them. I wanted to make the Pierre Marquette 18, which was a an old car ferry or a train ferry. It carried both, and it was about 500 feet long. I was like, this would be great in 1/200th. And
Yeah.
then I started building it. I got halfway done with the lower hull, and I realized, oh, this is not going to fit on any of my shelves. I'm going to have no money for this, and some of these parts cannot be sourced because of their color. So,
Yeah, that's the beauty of Lego building. The
yep,
fact that Lego has all these wonderful colors, but does not do everything in those wonderful colors.
it's the most annoying thing. Sometimes I almost wish I can just like spray paint them.
Yeah, but then you get that guilt feeling like, oh,
Yeah,
that's painting Lego, and
exactly.
everyone, all the
Yep.
purists will be mad at you.
That's why I've been hesitant. I've recently thought about doing stickers on my models, just basic ones, ones that would show like the nameplate or stuff like that. But I've been a little bit hesitant currently because I know Lego themselves do stickers, but it feels less authentic. When I try to make a model, I try to use the pieces that I'm given, and I try to make the details that way instead of relying on a sticker. Um, and I feel like if I did a sticker, that's kind of cheaping. I'm kind of cheaping out on it. So yeah,
So, to the next one, what's your build styles that you use?
build styles, sure. So how I design them is that I have a. It's hard to describe in speech, but I make a spine structure with these 1 by 1 bricks with uh, the studs on the sides, and
Yep.
it's been working quite well. So I make this spine structure, uh, and then I kind of just plate them on the sides, and they kind of just increase in thickness. It's a very at the end of the day, it's a very basic building technique, but I very much refined it, and it's what I'm comfortable with. I've even done some aircraft builds where I've used that. It's very versatile, and you can definitely get a lot more detail into it. Um, it's nice because it kind of it's different from just kind of stacking bricks on top of each other,
Yeah.
um, which I enjoy. It's nice to look at, and also it's nice from a building standpoint. In
Yep.
terms of building style, I'm not too. I like to get more detailed with it. I would like to do more distinctive shapes and stuff with my builds, but
Yeah.
the only hassle with that is, well, first, I can't do them yet because I don't know how to do them. And second, a lot of the more complicated builds that people do, they're very fragile. What I've realized is
Mm.
they're very fragile builds, and I I like to make my builds very, like pretty sturdy because, like I'm gonna be carrying around everywhere. Or if I made my Lego kits, I recently sold 10 Lego kits of the USS Cobia to the Maritime Museum, and I spent a lot of time trying to make it as structurally sound as possible because there's going to be kids that are going to be playing with this, and
Yeah.
it's going to suck if every time they switch it around and the back end just falls out, flies across the room. So I try to make them as structurally sound as possible, even if it kind of degrades from the look a little bit. Um,
Mm.
Speaking of the the tickets that were sold to the museum, I actually just sold 20 more of the Cobia kits, and that's been a very fun experience. I've actually gotten emails of people.
I
Um,
would love to do that sort of stuff, but my
it's
models are just a bit barbarically huge.
yeah, it's a little. I think it's a little out of budget for some people.
Yeah.
um, Recently, these Cobia models they're pretty tiny. They're about $7 in pieces. I sell them for $10. I don't aim to make a profit. I get volunteer hours out of it, which is better for me. Um,
Yeah.
but it's more fun to just have that experience too. It looks good on a resume. Start a small business.
Yeah.
Um, I recently showed them a couple of more designs of the SS Badger. There was a sailboat in there, and a lighthouse, surprisingly, which I've never done before, but they requested it. So I guess I'll be diving into lighthouses soon. Uh,
I've been
so
thinking of doing more nautical based structures
they're
too.
very fun. They're very fun. I can send some pictures later, but they're very fun to do. I would love to do a diorama of that lighthouse with some wave builds and stuff like that. I think it'd
That would
be
be cool.
yeah, I think so too. But that's
So,
put in consideration for a
yeah.
kit as well. So
So, how do you get your Lego bricks? Do you just go through Bricklink or through a Lego store?
so a lot of them are made to order on Pick a Brick.
Ah,
I
yep.
do. I make some Bricklink orders, but they're pretty scarce. I recently just bought like 200 hand pieces,
Oh,
um,
wow.
which is kind of it's kind of weird. The stealer on Bricklink just has like a stock of 10,000 hands. Don't know where he gets them
Yeah.
from. He probably just sneaks into the Lego factory at night and just steals all those hands. But hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, not complaining here either.
But for the only reason why I would make any Bricklink orders is if Lego.com is out of stock, or if it's a hand piece because Lego doesn't do them. But all of them are from Pick a Brick, and it's quite nice. I use this Google extension called what was it, Brick Hunter. And what I do is I would just get the XML file from Bricklink, upload it to Brick Hunter, and it would automatically fill out my Pick a Brick order. So I don't even have to do anything manually.
Oh wow, that I might have to look into using that.
It's
I did not know
I'll
of
send
that.
it over. Yes, I didn't know of it either. I was looking it up. As like, there's no way there's going to be a thing. And there was a Reddit post from like 5 years ago. It's like, Brick Hunter is really good. It's like, okay.
You
And
gotta love the ancient forums on Reddit.
yes, Reddit is the answer to all things. Even though I don't even like Reddit. I don't even use Reddit.
Yeah, I have
it's the
it,
most
but I
amazing
never
thing.
use it. But yeah, what is your favorite build of your own?
Favorite build? I've kind of posted a lot about my USS Cobia build. From a scale standpoint, the Cobia is my favorite. It's the largest one of my models. It's the one that I put the most work in. I probably put about 15 hours into making the Cobia. It is my first 1/2 Hunter scale model, and it still stands the test of time. And I'm still very happy with it. But as of right now, I just finished building in real life the John Catlett, the naval trawler. You can see on my Instagram, and that one's my favorite currently. The scale's really nice. It looks really nice. There's a lot of detail. Nice lifeboats, air vents, entrance doors. It's a fun model. But my favorite build changes like every day. Sometimes it's sailing ships. Sometimes it's the Cobia. It's based on preference, I guess. But currently, I'm making some more airplane builds because I've realized that people do like them quite a bit. So I've been making some float planes, which I'm very happy to show soon. I made a new thing called float plane Fridays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be showing a lot of my newer float plane builds that I'm very happy with. Can't say anything right now, obviously, but yeah.
Well, I believe that brings us to the end of the episode. So I just want to thank you, 1912Bricks, for joining me today on
Thank you
the
for having
Lego
me.
Shipbuilders podcast.
Thank
I
you for
will,
having me.
for anyone listening, all of his links will be in the description down below. And I will see you all next time.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.